So ladies and gentlemen, this is an unplanned video, but very interesting. I was compelled to jump up and hit the record button after I saw it. On tonight's NBC Nightly News, there was a story about the pharmacy tech industry and why in a pandemic where it is so important that pharmacy techs, there is a quote-unquote shortage of pharmacy techs. Then they asked a pharmacy tech, well, what is going on with the shortage? Well, the shortage is because they are understaffed, underpaid, with horrible working conditions, so many of them are quitting. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I bring up the fact that a few years ago I had 4 jobs in the course of 18 months. And you might think, oh, that's because there's so many job openings and everything is so great in the industry. Well, it was for the same reasons. So when you see these articles about, oh, job shortages, we can't get anybody to work in IT, it's the same as, and I follow the pharmacy tech thing very closely. RX Comedy is one of my favorite channels. He's starting to convince me that they have it a little bit worse than we do, but it's the same deal. If you see shortages and you also see low pay, well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's wrong. And also, they are under horrible working conditions. And if you wanted to know, well, why would a person jump from job to job and quit? Well, that's really the only tool that we have, especially in IT where you don't really have unions. The only union that you have is a union of yourself. Instead of walking off the job, you quit and look for another one. But it's just something to let you guys know about the reality of these things. Look at fields like pharmacy techs. Also look at fields like trash truck drivers. That's another field of important workers where they started quitting and they started seeing the consequences of people quitting. And they had to address it. So the only way, I can't think of a better way at least, the only way to address the working conditions is to, vote with your feet and quit. So if you're in a horrible job, well, we just have to start naming and shaming some of these companies. But if you see a job with multiple job openings, or if you're in the job market and you constantly see the same job or the same company constantly hiring, it's not because there's a whole bunch of opportunity. It's because somebody probably quit. And I'll just add this as well. Normally when I'm on an interview, of course, I like to say that you have to remember that an interview works 2 ways. You can also ask questions, and one of the questions that I always ask is, why is this job open? Is it open because it's a new position, or is it open because somebody quit? And that'll be an easy red flag for you. That is, if they tell the truth. Which reminds me also that at some point in time, I am going to tell my stories of the 2 worst IT jobs that I've had. The worst IT job that I had was an actual H-1B sweatshop, hidden inside of a nonprofit organization. And another, the most traumatic, was actually the second worst job that I've ever had. And I'm going to start telling those stories in 2022. I think enough time has passed since I've been there. But anyway, I know I'm slacking off from the 1 video a week, but I'm going to keep trying. Again, continue to subscribe and like. I'm adding some more stuff. I got a whole bunch more in the works for 2022. It's me, your really awesome IT guy.